Okay, I'm going to add a lesson here that actually isn't in the online text. It deals with expected value yet, just like your prior assignment did, where you worked on 1 through 6 and 8 and 10. So we're going to keep working with expected value, but in a little bit different flavor. And I always think that no student should ever granulate from the high school here unless they know how to calculate their grade point average. I know you can look it up in the Skyward and know what your grade point average is, but I think everybody should be able to calculate their own GPA. And I'm pretty sure that she is lying, right? Because the highest grade point average you can get is 4.00, 4.0, unless there's some kind of weighted grading system. So in order to work with the grade point average problems, we need to know the 4.0 grading scale. So for us, and you might want to copy, I would copy this into my notes if I was you. It's going to be very helpful to have this in front of you when you work on your assignment. So we can't earn an A plus here, so our grading scale looks like this. We get down to a C plus and a C and a C minus and a D plus, a D, and a D minus, and then that F where we don't earn the credit for the course. And the grading scale looks like this. I know that you know an A is 4.0, and I'm not sure if you knew that a B is 3.0, and that pattern continues. So a plain old vanilla flavored C is 2.0, a D is 1.0, and a F is 0.0. And then in between there, it's really cut into thirds, but for our purposes, we'll round it a little bit. And so an A minus is 3.7, and then a B plus is 3.3. And if an A minus is 3.7, a B minus is 2.7 and 2.3. And then a C minus is 1.7. D plus is 1.3. You see the pattern there? And then a D minus is 0.7. And then the pattern kind of falls apart right here because there's no such thing as an F plus. But there's a pattern here in that when you look at this, it goes 073, 073, 073. And if you remember that, you'll be okay. So here's the grading scale that you use when you calculate a grade point average. And you use that in conjunction with the expected value uh, formula that you learned in the last lesson. So here's a really good example, Collins' schedule. I'm going to slide this up a little bit. Collins' schedule and his grades that he earned. Now, in this scenario, let's see, he has 5 different classes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I'm going to use 5 PVs, my, my expected value, which is my grade point average. I'm going to have 5 PV terms because there's 5 courses. And I'm just going to go down the courses one at a time from top to bottom. English 11A is a D. Now, uh, the when you do these, think of it this way. The probability is going to be based on the credits earned. And the value is the value comes from the scale on the previous page, the 4.0 grading scale. So when we work through Collins GPA, it would look like this. Well, in our school, it's kind of interesting that every class we take is 1 credit, 1 credit, 1 credit, all the way down. And so that makes it pretty easy for us. So I'm going to start with English 11A now. The probability that a credit came from English 11A is 1 out of the 5 credits, right? So 1 out of 5 credits was in English, and in English, you earned a D, and a D, you got to think back here now, a D is worth 1. And so I'm going to go 1 out of 5 times 1 plus, now we'll go to college stats with an A. 1 out of the 5 credits was an A, and A is 4.0 plus, now it's, oh no, excuse me. I missed the welding in there. I'm going to come back and do the welding right now. I got a 1 out of 5 chance that I earned a C minus, and a C minus, look at your notes there. A C is worth 2, so a C minus is 1.7. Okay, now I'm going to go to underwater basket weaving. 1 out of the 5 credits was underwater basket weaving, and A minus is 3.7 plus, and finally now procrastination. 1 out of 5 credits was procrastination, and it's an incomplete, which basically is a 0, so we'll put 0. And now we would take our calculator and multiply that together. Now, if you're smart here and you see that all of these are fifths, what I would do is I would just take 1 times 1 times 1 plus 1 times 4 plus 1 times 1.7 plus 1 times 3.7, and then divide by 5. Hit equals on my calculator and divide by 5 at the end. So in essence, I'm just going to add 1 plus 4 plus 1.7 plus 3.7 plus 0. Guess I didn't have to add 0. I get 14.1. And now I still have to divide by 5. So I got 2.82. Now you could do that on your calculator with the fraction key if you want. You could go 1 fraction 5 times 1 plus 1 fraction 5 times 4. You should get 2.82, grade point average of 2.82. Here's one more example, and I'm not going to do the full calculation here, but again, our school is easy. Every class is worth 1 credit, and there's 5 courses. So 1 out of 5 is worth a B at 3, plus 1 out of 5 worth 3. 1 out of 5 credits worth 3.3. Wow, what's a C worth? Can't remember now. C, 2.0, and 1 out of 5 at an A, which is 4.0. So what I would do is I would just go type in the top 1/5 times 3 plus 1/5 times 3 plus 1/5 times, and just add those all together, and you'll have your grade point average. And I'm going to leave that up to you to keep the video going here. When you go on to college, here's a college example or a tech school example where classes aren't all worth 1 credit like they are here. Now you have to add up all of the credits. Here's a 3 credit, 3 credit, 4 credit, 1 credit, 4 credit. I have to add all of those credits together. Let's see, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 1 more is 11, plus 4. I think there's 15 credits altogether. So now it works similarly. 3 out of 15 credits, I earned an A minus. An A minus is 3.7. So I'm going to have to do that calculation. Plus, now I go to composition. 3 out of 15 credits. And a C is worth 2.0. Plus, college algebra. 4 out of 15 credits, worth a B plus. Let's see, a B is 3, so a B plus is 3.3. Plus, study skills for freshmen, a 1 out of the 15 credits with study skills. It's too bad it's only 1 credit because they earned 4.0, right? Kylie did. And then finally, 4 out of 15 credits came from biology. Biology is a B, and a B is 3.0. So again, you just take your calculator and 3/15 times 3.7 plus 3/15 times 2 plus and so on, and you'll have the grade point average. Let's do one last one. Travis took a few classes at the University of Grandy. Wow, I didn't even know there was the University of Grandy. His transcript showed, let's see, dressing for success, the redneck way, 3 credits, earned a B. Creating your own doomsday shelter, 2 credit class. Living off the land, creative roadkill recipes, 5 credit class. So again, in these exercises, you add the number of credits, which in this case, Travis earned 10 credits. And now we set up our probabilities and values based on 10 credits. So 3 out of 10 credits at a B were 3, plus 2 out of 10, you get the idea, right? A minus is 3.7. Half of those credits, 5 out of 10 credits at a B minus 2.7. So again, 3/10 times 3 plus 2/10 times 3.7 plus 5/10 times 2.7 equals, and you'll have your grade point average. One last exercise to show you here real quick, and that is if we were calculating an overall grade point average now. The overall grade point average in this problem based on 3 credits, we can't just add these 3 numbers and divide by 3 because there were different numbers of credits earned. So here, you just do the same procedure. Add 5 and 4 and 13, and we know that there were 12 credits earned altogether during the year. And then we'll go up to the first trimester. 5 out of those 12 credits, we had a GPA of 2.75. 4 out of those 12 credits, GPA of 3.12. We have a GPA of 3.7 for 3 out of the 12 credits. And then again, we'll just add these together and see what the total is, and that's our grade point average. So there's other examples here, but I'm going to skip through those for this video to try to make it short. And I'm going to ask you to work on the GPA exercises that are attached to the lesson here. It's a worksheet that has like 18 or so exercises. And when I assign it, I'll give you in the description, I'll tell you which exercises I want you to do because I don't want you to do all of them. So look at the description and it'll show you which exercises to do on the attached document.